Texans fans, I did a little work behind the scenes. I talked to my bosses, and I kind of maneuvered something for us to have a live show this weekend, but I need your help. They told me if we get 10 shares on today's video, I can go live on Saturday for the Texans' second preseason game. All you got to do, click the share button, select the Twitter icon, click post to Twitter, and most importantly, you got to tag me. If I get 10 people to share this video, I'm going live on Saturday for the Texans' second preseason game. Texans fans, we got a little fun segment for you today. It's like what we like to call stock up, stock down. I'm going to tell you who in the Texans organization has their stock going up and who's got their stock going down after their first preseason matchup against the New England Patriots. First up on my list, stock up, Henry To'oTo'o. The Texans coaching staff can't get enough of this guy. They're loving what they're seeing out of the fifth-round pick out of Alabama. And this is what Texans DC Matt Burke had to say about the rookie linebacker. Henry did a great job, but again, I think Henry has built up that foundation in practice. He's been out here working the same, and it was nice to see him make a couple of plays and tackles and just being around the ball a little bit. He has a couple of things to work on, too. It was good for him. It was a good step for him. Hopefully, he keeps progressing this week. And, you know, Henry was around the ball a lot against the Patriots, really showing that athleticism that he portrayed at Alabama. And I was really impressed with him on the defensive side of the football. He's not currently a starting linebacker on the Texans depth chart, but I do think, especially in the regular season, he's going to find his way into a rotation, maybe some sub packages, maybe giving guys a breather. I really think Henry To'oTo'o is going to make an impact for this Texans defense this season. Well, Henry To'oTo'o, he's one of the names that impressed me. But I want to hear from you guys at home. Who impressed you in the Texans' first preseason game? A lot of names to go through. There was a lot of good performances in that first preseason game. And you know what? I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with the YouTube ad break right here, no worries at all. Just go down, answer today's pinned question, swipe on back up, and I'll be giving you whose stock is down for the Houston Texans. Stock down after the first game. It's got to be C.J. Stroud. You know, I'm still a believer of C.J. Stroud. I still like Stroud as the Texans quarterback of the future, but you'd be lying to yourself if you were to tell yourself, you know, C.J. Stroud has a stock up after that first game. And he's not named the starter yet. Anthony Richardson just got named the starter for the Indianapolis Colts. Bryce Young, obviously the incumbent starter for, or not the incumbent, but the new starter for the Carolina Panthers. Stroud not named the starter yet, but in the new depth chart, he is still QB1. And if you look at his stat line, he only threw 4 balls. Okay, one of them was an interception, but he only threw 4 passes. So I'm not worried at all. I'm not out on C.J. Stroud. Let me make that clear. Let me say it one more time. I'm not out on Stroud at all. Okay? Obviously, the hype is a little bit deflated after that first game. Not what you want to see out of a rookie quarterback in his first start. Not a lot of good things to work on, but I still like C.J. Stroud. I still like what I see from him in all the clips at practice. And, you know, you got to say to yourself, this is a rookie quarterback. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to have some ups and downs, especially when he's not getting good pass protection. I still believe CJ7 can be the franchise guy. I still believe in this man, and I really think this guy right here, can take the Texans to the promised land one day. You know, obviously a bumpy start to his career, but, you know, whose first start is amazing in the preseason? Very few and far between. I'd love to see what C.J. Stroud can do in this second preseason game, and I really hope he gets more snaps. I really hope we see a quarter of C.J. Stroud, because I think he'll really impress some people if he has some more time on the field. And hey, new Texans quarterback of the future, you got to get his jersey, guys. I don't want to see any David Carr jerseys walking around NRG. I want to see C.J. Stroud jerseys, and you can get them exclusively today at our friends at Fanatics. Go to chatsports.com/Stroud. We got a great deal going on with them, and if you hit that link right there, chatsports.com/Stroud, they'll know we sent you. You can get all the C.J. Stroud jerseys in youth and adult sizes. They have the navy, they have the white, they have the red. Go check them out today and get your C.J. Stroud jersey. Maybe one of the biggest stocks up from this past week is Tank Dell, the man they call Tank, out of the University of Houston, really showed out against the New England Patriots. You look at his stat line, 5 receptions, 65 yards, a long of 24 on that nice little seam route that he had, and this acrobatic touchdown catch. I have a better angle for you right here. Look at the concentration on Tank Dell right here. Looking at that ball come in, I would have hoped that he would have caught it on the first round, but the concentration to keep his eyes on the ball, get the touchdown towards the end of the half, that was huge going into halftime for the Houston Texans. And Tank Dell, he's got me jazzed up. I'm on the Tank Dell hype train. Get on. Everybody on board. Everybody get on board right now, the Tank Dell hype train, because it won't be long before everybody's on it. So if you're a part of the Tank Dell hype train like I am, type 13. I'm really pumped up to see what the man from Houston can do for the Texans this season. Type your 13s if you're with me on the Tank Dell hype train. Now, I mentioned it earlier, C.J. Stroud was running for his life in that game against the Patriots. This man, Austin Deculus, part of the reason why. And I have a photo really just to show you why his stock's down. C.J. Stroud getting, tackled right here by a Patriots defender. Look who it is right here. It's Austin Deculus. This is his man who he was supposed to be blocking, taking down C.J. Stroud. That's never a good sign if you're an offensive lineman and you're facing back at the quarterback like this during a play. That is never a good sign. And that happened a couple times to Austin Deculus. He also got banged up in practice this week. Might be a cut candidate if he doesn't show out the rest of the training camp, rest of the preseason. He looked awful against the Patriots. They had a couple ones. They had the twos in on the defensive line. It didn't matter. They were all getting past Austin Deculus in the first preseason game. I really hope the Texans can get that figured out. I am praying for a Titus Howard full recovery as soon as possible, because with him and Laramie Tunsil, I'm feeling great. Without those two guys, a little bit worried. Just a little bit. But one good thing from the Texans offensive line, Juice Scruggs, his stock is up. Coaches are loving what they're seeing out of the young man out of Penn State. And everything that I've seen, everything that I've heard about Juice Scruggs, I'm really pumped up. I mean, we look at his PFF grades from last year. 896 snaps, an overall of 71.5. Pass block, he's better in pass pro than he is in run blocking game. And you look at that, sacks allowed, only one last season. Only one from the young man playing in the Big Ten Power 5 conference. I am loving what I'm hearing and seeing from Juice Scruggs. He's already become somewhat of a leader on this Texans offensive line. I love that from the young man. He was an early pick, and it was made to solidify the inside of the Texans offensive line, and hopefully he can do that. It's always a bummer when guys get injured. Scott Quesenberry was going to battle with Scruggs for the center position, but I feel a little bit better now that I've seen Juice Scruggs. He had some good snaps in that first preseason game, even though Austin Deculus, some of the other guys on the offensive line weren't doing him any favors. He had some good reps. If you go look at the tape at Scruggs, he had some good plays against the New England Patriots. And my last stock down for the Texans is Christian Kirksey. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. I don't necessarily think Kirksey is playing bad. This isn't a Austin Deculus situation where I'm going to show you a picture and say, hey, Kirksey's missing tackles left and right. He's playing bad. I just think at the end of the day, he could be the odd man out in the linebacking core. I mean, whenever we look at the depth chart here, he's behind Blake Cashman, who has been balling out in Texans training camp. Really a welcome surprise for the Houston Texans. I think Denzel Perryman's got that middle linebacker spot locked up, especially with Henry To'oTo'o sliding in there from time to time. And Christian Harris is going to be a starter as well. I don't know where Kirksey fits in. He might stay on this team. He might be a backup, but I think he might be the odd man out as well in this linebacking room of, Cashman, Perryman, Harris, To'oTo'o. I don't know where we're going to see a lot of Kirksey playing time, especially if Cashman keeps on playing how he does. I see him, starting at that Sam linebacker, Denzel Perryman. I think he's been a great leader, a great veteran presence in here. I think he's solidified that starting middle linebacker. And the will, it's been Christian Harris all along. Now, before I go, I do have some fun news. I saw this come along my timeline this morning, coming in from Aaron Wilson. Hey, gonna have some new concessions at NRG. Trill Burgers, the famous burger joint out of Houston, started by Bun B this year. Everybody's been raving about them. They announced they're going to have 4 concession stands at NRG Stadium this year. Very excited. This is what Aaron Wilson had to say. Trill Burgers, at Bun B, Trill OG. Announced 4 concession stands at NRG Stadium with the Houston Texans games this fall. We're very excited to be at NRG for every home game to serve Trill Burgers and watch our Texans play to victory. Bun B said, "Go Texans." That's what I'm loving to see. I'm loving that, the McNairs are bringing in some local businesses, especially one as hyped as Trill Burgers. I've heard nothing but good things. Next time I go down to Houston, I've got to snag me one of those Trill Burgers. If you're excited to have Trill Burgers at NRG, spam those H's down in the comments. Bun B, we love you in Houston, and we're so pumped to have your burgers at the Texans home stadium. I mean, personally, I am going to definitely snag those as soon as I go down to Houston. If you've had them, let me know how they are in the comment section. I want to know what I need to get from Trill Burgers. I need to know, what the best things on the menu are. The burgers, every time I look at a video on TikTok of those burgers, I'm like, mouth water already. It looks amazing. Go down and spam those H's if you're pumped. And like I said at the top of the video, I get 10 shares on today's show. On Twitter, I'm going live for the Texans' second preseason game. Make our dreams a reality. Go down and share this video today on Twitter. Make sure to tag me at Jeremy Chuggs. And until next time, let's go Texans.